Okay, maybe we're rolling now. On Friday night, the Canucks played the second end of their first back-to-back of the season against the Chicago Blackhawks. They were coming off a win against Dallas the night before where they erased a 2-goal deficit in the second period, scored 4 goals in that second period, and won, while being definitely not the favorites in that game. In this game against Chicago, they were the favorites, though it got off to a bit of a rocky start, and it's a back-to-back. Especially this early in the season, it's a little bit difficult because your conditioning might not be at its best, so back-to-backs right now are pretty difficult. And that was pretty apparent because they were taking a lot of penalties. There was some animosity because of stuff I'll get into later. Evander Kane took a bad penalty in the first, which, who's surprised? The Blackhawks were able to capitalize on that power play, and Marcus Pettersson couldn't tie up Ryan Donato properly in front of the net, and Donato had the entire net to tap the puck into. So it was 1-0 for the Blackhawks. Later in the period, Sam Rinzel had a shot from the point that Lankinen made the initial save on, but it bounced right out to Tyler Bertuzzi in the slot, and he was able to tuck it behind Lankinen to make it 2-0 for the Blackhawks. So for the second straight game, the Canucks were going into the second period down by 2 goals. But if they can make that comeback against Dallas, they can make it against Chicago. And that's what they started doing. They got a power play shortly into the second. Quinn Hughes threw the puck down low to Connor Garland, who did well to get it right in front of the net for Jake DeBrusk, who banged away at it a couple times and eventually snuck it in past Knight. Later in the second, that Abbey line came to life again. Archie Baines made some good forechecking plays in the offensive zone, and the puck found its way to Linus Karlsson, who found Philip Hronek streaking in from the right side. And Hronek had the ability to shoot, but he saw that Max Sasson was beating his man to the net, and Hronek made a perfect pass right to the tape of Sasson for the empty net tap-in. And just like that, it was tied. After that, no more goals happened. The third period did have its share of drama. There was a goal by Tyler Bertuzzi that the refs disallowed, which Blackhawks fans are not happy about. Though he did tap the pad, I don't know. It's kind of weak. I feel like whatever the call on the ice was would stand, and in this case, the call on the ice was no goal, so the actual call was no goal. I think that's just how that works. I also don't know why Blackhawks fans are that mad. Like, do you really want to win? You could have Gavin McKenna and Connor Bedard. Do you really want to win? Anyway, the game went to overtime, which was a disaster. Just some random stuff was happening. Brock Besser had a couple chances. One of them went off the post. The other one was saved by Knight. The Blackhawks had a 2-on-0 because Philip Hedl coughed up the puck, and they just had no idea what to do. Didn't even get a shot off. Elias Pettersson had some good chances late in regulation and in overtime, but the best one was when he dangled past the Blackhawks and just barely couldn't get it around the pad of Spencer Knight. And after some brutal chaos happening in overtime, we went to a shootout. And it was a staring contest, back and forth. Goalies were making saves. Until we get to the fourth round, Lankinen's 4 for 4 at this point, and in comes Brock Besser, game on his stick. Now he'd had those chances in overtime. It was time to make this one count and win the game, and that's what he did. A great shot right over Spencer Knight, and the Canucks won 3-2 in the shootout. First of all, I want to say a win is a win, and I'll take the 2 points any day. But that definitely wasn't their best performance. I don't think they had it fully in them, and it was the second end of a back-to-back, so they would have been a little bit tired. I'm okay to be lenient with them on that. This early in the season, just getting back-to-back wins on back-to-back days, I'll take no matter what happened in the game. Though I do want a better effort against Chicago next time around. Evander Kane, I specifically did not like today. He was giving away the puck again. There was a time where he gave away the puck, and then it was a 2-on-1, and his back checking was so slow because he's old and doesn't know how to skate. And luckily they didn't score on it, but they did score when he took a penalty. He had other offensive zone giveaways that led to good chances on the other end for Chicago. But mainly the thing that disappointed me was the fact that he showed no grit in this game. And this is a game where we needed grit because we were facing Jason Dickinson for the first time since March, when he injured Philip Hedl with a hit against the boards. Kiefer Sherwood promised that we would get some payback for that. There wasn't really anything. There was a moment where Connor Garland hit Dickinson up high. That was kind of cool. Dickinson had to go to the dressing room, but nobody dropped the gloves in that game. Sherwood tried to with Bertuzzi, but Bertuzzi isn't the target. The target's Dickinson, and Dickinson walked away unscathed, hence the name of this video. That was what I wanted to watch this game for. Besides the fact, obviously, I want to watch Canucks hockey. I want to watch this specific game thinking, what are they going to do to Jason Dickinson? Are they going to make him pay? They said they were going to make him pay. So Nothing happened. Evander Kane was brought in for stuff like that and did nothing. And that's kind of disappointing. I wanted to see them go after Dickinson. There was some good stuff to like from this game. Jake DeBrusk scored a power play goal. I really like him in that net front zone. He's good with his stick. He's a big body. I think he works well, and Connor Garland made a great play to just toss it into the middle and let DeBrusk deal with it. DeBrusk dealt with it. Didn't quit on the play. Got that puck in the net eventually, and it was a birthday goal. Happy birthday, Jake. And that Abbey line, oh my goodness, the chemistry that they have is so beautiful. Now they have 2 goals in 2 games. Max Sasson has both 2 goals in his first 2 games of the season. Carlson added an assist on that one, and Baines forechecking led to that goal. They all did something on that play. It's kind of tough to have Jonathan Lekkerimäki sitting out, and also Atu Ratu sitting out for this game because Teddy Bluger came back. But it's kind of also hard to split up that line if they're going to give you a goal a game. Speaking of Teddy Bluger, I didn't think he was all that good, but it was a season debut, so it's fine. I don't know. I don't really think he's that good of a player. He definitely should not be our third-line center. But he's great defensively, so at least we got that going for us. That line was definitely the worst for the Canucks today. The Bluger, Sherwood, and then O'Connor or Kane, whoever was subbed in at that time. Sherwood tried to be gritty. He took a bunch of penalties in the first, and they didn't add a whole lot. I didn't love it. I hope that Bluger can return to his form from 2 years ago. I hope he doesn't play like he did last year other than on the penalty kill, because he was not really good at even strength last year at all. And then, of course, I have to talk about Elias Pettersson, because I don't think I can go a single one of these videos without talking about Elias Pettersson. He played great today. I thought he was a good player today. He didn't score on his own net this time, so that's good. He had a lot of chances, and it seems right now that he's just a little bit cursed, because he had an empty net tap in that he just couldn't react to fast enough late in regulation. He had a chance in overtime to put it in. He just couldn't get there. He dangled past the Blackhawks defenders, and it looked like vintage Pettersson, but he just wasn't able to get it past Knight. And I fully stood up when that happened, thinking, oh yeah, he buries this all day. He made a great play to Victor Mancini, a great pass that Mancini just wasn't able to score on. And it really made me think, like, Pettersson did everything he could on that play. He gave Mancini a great scoring opportunity. But the difference between him getting praised for it and him not getting praised for it is all on Victor Mancini scoring it or not scoring it. Pettersson did everything he could there. And if Mancini scores that, we're all thinking, oh my god, what an assist from Pettersson. He's back. He did everything he could there, and that was a good play. He deserved to have a point from this game. He didn't get a point from this game. I think the goals have to trickle in eventually. His underlyings have been good. He's gotten so many chances, and he just seems snake-bitten again. He seems in his own head, but once he gets one goal, hopefully he can just start going and just keep going and just never stop going. On defense, Quinn Hughes was controlling the game quite well. He actually ended up a -1, but he played very well. His skating just seems to get better and better every season. He was looking pretty good, and he got an assist on that power play goal. Really didn't do a whole lot. He just sent it to Garland, who then sent it to the middle, but still deserved an assist. I thought he looked good offensively. Defensively, he had a good stick check on Bedard, I noticed at one point, that alleviated some pressure. I did like Phil Pronik in this game, and that pass to Max Sasson was beautiful. That was Quinn Hughes-esque. But the real star of this game for the Canucks was very obviously Kevin Lankinen. I said a couple games ago when Lankinen made his season debut that I'm not expecting him to steal any games for the Canucks this year. And that's true. And I don't think this was a stolen game. The shots were about even. But he played his ass off. Almost a .940 save percentage. He only let in 2 goals on 33 shots. And he made some really good saves. And even those 2 goals that went in, I definitely can't blame him for. The first was a power play goal, which was kind of just a tap-in for Donato. And the second was off a rebound that he had no chance of controlling, and nobody picked up Bertuzzi in the slot. So Lankinen played great, and I don't think it was a stolen win or anything, but I think if he can give us this game every so often, we can easily be a playoff team. I think a lot of our playoff aspirations hinge on what Kevin Lankinen we're getting this season. Because if he can win us games like that, I said before the season started that we need Kevin Lankinen to be a viable option in net, and he needs to be able to give us the opportunity to win, because we can't be trotting out Demko every single game, and then when Lankinen's in net, it's just an automatic loss. We need Lankinen to be good still. And today, he showed that he can still be good. I'm not expecting this performance from Kevin Lankinen night in, night out, but it was really nice to see there. Maybe he was playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder being back in Chicago. Whatever it was, works, and I really hope he can carry it on. I don't need him to be a .940 save percentage goalie, but if he can be over like .905, then we're probably in good shape. If I were a Blackhawks fan, I'm sure I'd have a lot more to say about the reffing in that third period. The goalie interference call really could have gone either way. But that penalty Bedard took against Myers where he was hugging him with 2 minutes left in the game, I don't know if that's a penalty that I would call at that point in the game. The refs did anyway, which was really bold of them. After already assessing the Blackhawks a penalty for the failed challenge, to then call that after and give the Canucks 4 minutes of power play time in the last 5 minutes of the game. I think I'd be pretty pissed at that if I were a Blackhawks fan. Canucks didn't capitalize anyway, so puck don't lie. But they still lost the game. And they could have won if that Bertuzzi thing were called a goal. I don't know. I'm still iffy on it. I don't know if it was a goal or not. I think that the call on the ice was a big factor in that. The Canucks fan in me is thinking definitely not a goal ever. Oh, right now I actually want to talk about how good Elias Pettersson has been. Because through 5 games, he's a +4. He leads the team in plus-minus by a whole 2. And you can say what you want about plus-minus as a stat, but when it's reflecting actually good play, which Elias Pettersson has been doing, then I'm going to take it into consideration. He's been solid back there so far. And honestly, I had some doubts coming in that our young defensemen could replicate what they were doing at the end of the season last year. But so far, Elias Pettersson has been rock steady. At the age of 21, that's really impressive. Like, there's a real argument where you could say Elias Pettersson has been our best defensive defenseman so far this year. He's even been getting penalty killing time too. I mean, it's great. This guy's incredible. A lot of people wanted to see Victor Mancini on the opening day roster over Elias Pettersson, and Victor Mancini is a more explosive player. He's got a lot more flash than Elias Pettersson. But Elias Pettersson, I think, was always going to get that spot on the third pairing. They need a guy like that for the third pairing, and I like that Victor Mancini has gotten into the lineup now. I like him with Quinn Hughes. But I think when you're looking at the young defensemen that the Canucks have, and they have a lot of them, the best one right now is undoubtedly Elias Pettersson. The Canucks' next game is Sunday afternoon/morning against Washington. If you're on the West Coast, it's at 9:30 for you, and I'm so sorry. Thankfully, I'm on the East Coast, so I at least have 12:30. Hopefully, the Canucks will at least make it worth waking up that early. I don't know. I can't imagine waking up at 9:30 for hockey. I've never had to do it. Washington has been off to a very good start. They're 4-1 so far. Last year, though, they were very good, and the Canucks didn't really have a problem with them. I mean, we did lose the one game in Washington, but we still outplayed them that game, and we outplayed them the game in Vancouver. It was really rare last year where we would outplay a team at all, and we outplayed Washington twice. And I never really understood why they were even good. I'm hoping that theme persists, and we can win that one. We're off to a good start on the road trip already, 2-0. I would love to keep going with that. Ovechkin is 2 goals away from 900 in his career, so it'd be kind of cool to see that at least. I just want a Canucks win, though. All right, what do you think of this game? What else did you not like? If I'm being honest, I don't have a lot to say about the first period because baseball was still on then, and I was kind of locked in on that a little bit, which was a good period for that to happen in because it was 2-0 Chicago after the first. So if I missed anything in that period, let me know. Most of the game I saw, and I'm pretty happy with what they did. They could have been a lot better. They could have won it a lot sooner. They could have also lost it a lot sooner. So I'm just happy with the 2 points. I'll take it.
I swear Elias Pettersson is scoring next game. I promise. He's so scoring. He's so due. He's so due. It can't go on forever. He's got it. I promise. But don't bet on it. Don't bet on it and blame me. Because I'm not that confident. You know, I'm confident, but I don't, fuck it. Bet on it, whatever.